Hello, everyone. Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. Today, I'll be doing a review for Justice League Infinity #1. Um, this is a book written by J.M. DeMatteis and James Tucker, illustrated by Ethen Beavers, colored by Nick Fliardi, and letters by Tom Napolitano, published by DC Comics. Now, if these character designs look a little bit familiar in the cover, that will be because this book is it takes place in the DC animated universe, which we got the Justice League cartoon and Justice League Unlimited. So I don't know if it's exactly a continuation like after the last episode or if it's just stories that happen in the same universe. But just know that when you read this, you are canon to that universe. So this is part one of the story called Cracked Mirror, um, where it's actually pretty cool. We start off with the Amazo android, who is nigh omnipotent at this point, discovers a quantum vortex that leads to multiple realities. And as he struggles to find meaning in his life, he kind of kicks off a sequence of events. In the meanwhile, we follow a similar story with Martian Manhunter, aka John Johns, who continues to live among humanity, which I believe is where he left off at the end of the comic, at the end of the original cartoon. Um, so he's struggling to find his way in the world. And then we also see the Justice League deal with an invasion from Apocalypse during the Flash's birthday. So there's a lot of stuff going on. The first thing I will say, this feels exactly like an episode of the animated show. Like if you ever watched any of that stuff, you'll see that not only does does the art look very similar to the designs of Bruce Timm, which is something that Beavers and Fliardi really managed to capture in that aesthetic without ever just aping their work. It's kind of very similar, but it's also their own individual twist on it. Um, but also the stories, we get all kinds of characters in this one first issue, which kind of really makes it feel like at the end of the Unlimited series, we were really dealing with more than just the big seven in the Justice League. We were dealing with all kinds of characters. Now, the storylines being parallel as far as we have the Amazo track, we have John Jones, and then we also have the Justice League having a birthday party for the Flash. That is something that really feels straight up out of the animated series, and it makes sense because both Tucker and DeMatteis worked on episodes of the series, so they're able to recapture that feeling. So that part's great. The artwork is great. Here, let me show you some panels. This is where we have the big surprise for the Flash for his birthday, and like I mentioned, the artwork, although it feels inspired by the Bruce Timm designs, is definitely not just like copy and paste from their work, right? I think the artists Beavers and Fliardi really managed to capture the essence of what that show was without just making tracings of the work, which which is great. It makes me excited for not only this but some of the upcoming books that are going to continue both the Batman '89 movies and um, the original Superman movie with Christopher Reeves, which is unfortunately very timely as I bring it up, as we just recently lost director Richard Donner, who directed the first Superman movie and who also has his own version of Superman 2. Um, but let's get back to the artwork here. This is one of my favorite panels. Granny Goodness in all her greatness. As we know, Apocalypse is kind of in shambles after that last season of Justice League Unlimited, where we have two warring factions fighting for the control of the planet. But this looks beautiful. You can see the Kirby crackle here in the back, and you see that multiple places. You'll see that with the Amazo in space. So, like I mentioned, the artwork in this just really captures that feeling without ever just being like, oh, okay, this is exactly the show. It's not. And that's really hard to do, I feel. Um, yeah, I don't know where else to go with this. I'm super excited because as a longtime fan of those animated shows, a lot of the times, the first time I ever saw a DC character was in those shows, and then I went into the comics. So I really appreciate DC doing stuff like this, where you can continue those properties, showing them kind of like the proper respect, but also continuing with those characters, capturing their voices correctly. All the characters felt like you could hear the voice of the voice actors um, as you were reading the comic, which is pretty cool. Uh, so yeah, I'm gonna have to give this a 5 out of 5. It's a great debut for a comic. But let me know what you think in the comments below. First, were you a fan of the show? We are in July, and July is going to be a big animated month for us here at the channel and at the podcast. We're looking forward to talking a lot about animation, both American and from other countries. So I'm really excited to kind of kick it off with a review of a book like this. So yeah, let me know down in the comments what you thought of this book. I really recommend you pick this issue up. This will let you know, this is part one of that story, and it will let you know, like, is this something you want to get into? As I recall, a lot of the Justice League Unlimited episodes were either 2 or 3 part stories, which is kind of cool that they're doing that here in the show, in the comic book as well. So I really appreciate that. But once again, this is great. Yeah, I really recommend it. If you have not seen the animated shows, I really recommend you go back and watch. As much as I love Batman and animated series and Superman, if you don't have the time to go back and watch everything, just start off with Justice League. Work your way through the thing is 3 seasons in Justice League Unlimited, and I think you'll be more than satisfied, and you'll want to go back and watch those other shows. So thanks everyone for watching. Remember to share, like, subscribe. We'll be doing more reviews. Go check out our previous review of No Ordinary Gods. We got an advanced copy of that. And reach out to the creators, because we're really grateful that we get stuff like this to kind of talk about. So we appreciate that. So thanks everyone for watching. Bye bye.